Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Eras mod. As we are closing in on the end here, there's a lot still to be done, as there's quite a lot of enemy troops about. Still haven't really been able to figure out what to do with the Danish capital, as assaulting it crashed the game. I'm hoping that I can siege it out and win that way. Otherwise, what I'll try to do is I'll try and just sue for peace and get rid of Denmark that way. I'm pretty sure they will agree to it, as their wealth is now meager. They might be strong, but their wealth is meager. We have been ravaging their land, controlling their trade rights and so on, and they have a lot of troops. They have a lot of troops around that they have to pay for, so hopefully we can force them into a surrender. Obviously we still have the Prussians, big presence around. Even bigger presence, of course, by the Austrians, and now we have further problems by the Austrians. I was wondering here if the Danish armies would be marching down to attack Vienna. It is in fact the Austrians who have been able to bring troops along this road. Unforeseen, really, the amount of troops that have been brought. 3 full stacks. That with the first lead stack actually laying siege to Vienna. It would be nice to be able to cancel out Denmark, because that would open up this road for Napoleon to strike and open this up. And then we would be 2 armies ready to meet the other 2 over here. But the most pressing issue, I would say, is currently the siege. So in between episodes, I decided to try and yet again break the siege with the army within the castle to make sure that they weren't sieged to death. That did not work. As you can see, the army outside is still intact. You can see the numbers here. And the fact that in the process of doing this, I lost 2 units of cavalry. And you can see the numbers are dwindling among the troops inside. The troops here have done really well. And some of them have gained a lot of chevrons from fighting inside. But we haven't really been able to break the siege, which is troublesome because there's only 2 turns left until its surrender. And, in fact, it might not look like it, but the reinforcement armies comprise of around 30,000 men. So there's there was, to start off with, 3,000 within the castle. It's probably dropped now down to closer to 2,500 or 2,200 or something like that, against 30,000 Austrians. Now, I'm hoping that some of those 30,000 is actually part of what's moved down here, but that's not something we can bank on for sure. We have received Grouchy. He has marched up here and is ready to take part in it, or in this battle, but I think that he will not be the one to lead the effort here to relieve the city. As there's probably going to be multiple battles, what I don't want to do is I don't want to bring everyone into one big battle and try and break it that way, because most likely I'd be working, you know, for hours on end probably doing battle if I'm going to battle 30,000 in one battle. Instead, what I want to do is I'm going to bring an army at a time to attack and then withdraw once there's no longer possible to continue fighting. And I really want to get this German army into the field, because it's got full of howitzers, which I'm sure, if I'm able to position myself correctly, I could absolutely crush whoever comes against me. Preferably I'd use the howitzers in a siege against the enemy, but it doesn't look like I am going to have the opportunity to siege anytime soon. So usually I try to test it out to see if I'm able to. This is not going to work. I'm going to have to attack the Prussian force and most likely I'll be intercepted as I go forward here. But hopefully we will be able to then break an opening through here and be able to relieve the city. Let's see. I was not intercepted. I was able to march all the way to the Prussian force and fight it. Let's see what kind of reinforcement. Yes, so he gets... The enemy's reinforcement has dwindled a bit. A bit. There's still 25,000. They have been boosted here by 2 Prussian armies. So we're still looking at about 30,000 men. Babyface general to lead the force we're going to meet first. Only carries 1 3-pounder. 3-pounder. Is it even worth making a 3-pounder cannon? But as you can see, there's quite a lot of reinforcement armies, totaling up to 25,000 men. The key for this battle, what I want to achieve, is I want to break this army right here, which is not necessarily going to be... I don't think they are actually part of it. There's not an army broken down like the one right here. But what I want to do is break the 2 Prussian ones, opening up for a follow-up attack then to actually open up the city and then switch out what army holds Dresden. That's the plan anyways. But I will be killing as many enemies as possible, and hopefully all these new howitzers will do the job. With that said, let's not linger here as snow is falling, and must march briskly towards the enemy. The Prussian and Austrian army is coming on in a steady advance. We've got some cavalry trying to flank over there. They're sending up the light troops first, which could be a problem. My howitzers do have range, but they have mostly range on the light troops, which has now started to harass my line, but I'm more worried about their line troops. Guess we'll have to, since we can't actually reach them with our own guns, I think we do have to fire on these. Alright. Form into square. We'll have our own light cavalry right up. Quite inaccurate howitzer shots. But we're not losing that many men out of the battalion over there. I might have extended it too far, but I think it's going to be useful to use those for flanking as the enemy moves forward. As the enemy gets closer, I'm hoping that probably get easier for my howitzers to actually hit their targets. Currently, of course, we are firing onto troops in spread out formation, which is not optimal. I think we're gonna target the right side and then focus on destroying that, and then we can wheel up the army that way, because most of the reinforcements seem to be coming that way, or at least all the Austrians are coming that way. Haven't seen any signs of where the second Prussian army is coming from. Okay, now the Prussians starting to line up to fire at us. My light cavalry will move around that way. They are coming ever so close. Canister range is abysmal. Okay, now there's another round of howitzer shots. Nothing really seems to be finding its targets as of yet. Looks spectacular. They're coming really close here. I think they are within canister range now. Alright, we are firing a lot here. I want to see if we can't get something going here. I think if they hit that when they try to aim for the right side, they should concentrate shots right there. Should probably work for me. Hold fire, switch to canister. They're coming right at us here. I've got a reserve battalion. It's going to be brought up. These are the lip battalions. Not entirely sure why you're not all firing, as the enemy is right in front of you. Same with what's going on over here. In the long run, the Prussians are gonna win an exchange of fire like this, so I want to end them as soon as possible. Right, if you could canister the center of that, that would be great. Right, another round of howitzer shots. That seemed to have struck home on the grenadiers, blowing up their sides. The all the light troops are withdrawing. Let's switch battalions here, so that the other one takes over the front line duty. As soon as possible, I want to draw in my cavalry to try and wipe this side out. It might actually be more... Oh, they just fired their other rounds. You might want to be facing them flat on like that. I completely missed if they actually hit anything here. Right, fire, fire. They are kind of spread out now, so should make an easy target for my troops. We will wheel you up as to not fire on our own troops. They're marching straight into that. These three will advance. You will switch to round shot. Boost that. Oh, I actually lost a howitzer. I didn't note that. I did note that the enemy... The Prussians brought their 3-pounder, but I was able to break that one down. The... let's see, here we should be easier for us to actually do damage. Shouldn't it? It's kind of out of range. They're coming straight on there. I've got heavy cavalry ready to pull in. Alright. You did manage to break through that one unit. Okay, the enemy is advancing on us again. Keep the canister going. You will move over and help the Anhalten troops, which are currently gonna face a whole host of enemies. If I could get those... I wonder if this one's even gonna work. Firing up the sides there. It looks spectacular. And if I could get a direct hit on that, that would be nice. The enemy was broken on the canister yet again. And the enemy infantry is walking straight towards it. The cavalry will be called in again, dealing with the grenadiers. We've got one of them breaking. I want like this same kind of spectacular explosion that the enemy was able to do on me. Fire on the ground then, if you're so crap at actually hitting anything. I can see shots landing, but it's the round shots from the 6-pounder and not the howitzer shots. Right, the cavalry was able to deal with those there. Now there's Austrian hussars coming in. I want to break these two before the Austrians arrive. Hold fire. They're moving out of range here. This one is horse-drawn. I will redirect that one. I don't want them to outflank me, and currently my howitzers aren't really working on shooting them down. So my heavy cavalry will strike. 6-pounder will hold fire. It just hit my own heavy cavalry. Wasn't great. My cavalry over here, not great, got stuck. Break through. The heavy cavalry is sort of moving through all of that. We will advance to follow all of this. Stop them before the guns. Austrian hussars reach my 4-pounder. But once they do, they are stopped. I get the howitzers over here. The heavy cavalry is holding up all these units. There's another 2 coming up. And then use it in reserve. The heavy cavalry has lost a lot of men. They will order to retreat as the line now comes in to take over.
Sir, our general is under attack.
We are dealing with the enemy here, but their cavalry is actually doing a number on my cavalry, which I don't like. Gonna bring in the general close by. 2 other howitzers gonna aim on the closer unit here, and now firing volleys into the mess that the Prussians have set up. Oh, the heavy cavalry... Oh, they have one guy left in there. Right. Alright. Heavy cavalry continuing after that. One of my cavalry squadrons broken by the Austrian one. Currently, kind of a big gap in the line there, where we got the Austrian army now coming on. So many Prussians on the run here. I'll move these troops up to see about getting an angle on the second attack here. Who's running now? Oh, the line infantry unit broke. Whatever these hussars are, they are breaking my units. Finally, they were broken, forced back, but that was a good unit, whatever that was. I want as few Prussians here to be alive as possible. I know that the Austrians were going to bring quite the number of guns. Oh, you have rallied? Good. This cavalry unit is not looking happy. Meanwhile, we've got all of this. I need to destroy as many of these as possible. I want to have all of these on the flank to go through. We broke that one. Switch to round shot. Fire up the side of that unit. Right, advance into that. Germans versus Germans. There's a lot of Austrian guns in those woods. The cavalry came back. Meanwhile, we got one hell of a fight going on here. as it turns into a big melee fight. Got a squadron of cavalry coming up. Aim for that one instead. Heavy cavalry will go through. But I now need to halt. We've got Prussians in the back. Where the hell did you come from? General Staff. Not as dangerous as one could have thought, but still unpleasant to find Prussians in the back. Is that the reinforcement army? Is it going to turn up behind me or from square? Prussian general dead. This guy deciding to ride straight through where the cannons are aiming. Alright, we got a new round of enemies coming on. This square... Oh, it's mounted Jaegers. Did I break? I broke the square just in time for them to order in the attack. Okay, I do notice Prussian cavalry. Alright. This side of the line needs to come through here. The square for now gotta be on its own, unfortunately. So it's one unit of the Anhalten units that unfortunately is stuck over there. I will order a cannon close by, hopefully peel those enemies off. I need this howitzer. Not that far back, set up there. Right, we are hopefully soon ready to retrieve this unit. Right, they broke. Hurry back to the line as the second Prussian army, which is more of a target actually than the Austrians that are currently here. You can move to the flank. Why don't you guys make more of a line?
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
I'm sure they're tired, but I'm also sure that they probably want to be alive as well. More so than being tired. The howitzers have not proven to be as effective. Heavy cavalry squadron. The other Anhalt battalion will move out and try and save them. Meanwhile, we'll make a line like that. You are within range to fire. The square is getting overrun by enemy heavy cavalry. Oh, that one unit didn't want to continue the fight. I think it might be time to actually look at our retreat, because as more and more troops are gonna come up there, it's not really gonna work out for us. Right, the heavy cavalry is going through. Soon the center unit will break. Can you break this one to at least try and save these from destruction? And we've got now enemy cavalry or enemy cannons out here firing on us. This one's not going to stand for much longer. Let's try and start and withdraw some of these units. Actually, all of them. Let's go ahead and start withdrawing units. This one can hold for a while longer. Now the Prussian cavalry is coming in, so this side needs to hold while this one pulls back to the best of its ability. The enemy rode straight into that. Cavalry is making headlong charges into our line, while we've got tons of Austrians coming on. Right, starting to withdraw cannons. The Prussians, I guess, desperately trying to halt us here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Can we draw a line there? Oh. Pull back. Yeah, they are running more heavy cavalry from the Prussians. The Austrians pushing hard here. I will stop this howitzer back here.
Our men are running, sir.
Broken. Oh, you've got... If I've got a target for you... God damn it. Point blank range, there's no way I can pull you back. You guys need to be pulled back.
Our men are running,
Okay,
sir.
now you gonna fall back. The cavalry is unfortunately right on us. Where's the general? Needs to support these right now. Can I get the gun here? Oh, this unit, the Saxon regiment right there, is not looking good. And now the enemy cavalry is pushing straight through, enveloping the rest of that line. The general is at risk. Hold fire. If they can hold for a little bit longer. No, they cannot. The enemy is got me beat. The enemy's got me beat. Wait, why don't I have the withdraw ability?
Our men are running, sir.
Cannon is overrun. For some reason, I'm not able to order them to withdraw. Which makes the whole thing a lot more difficult. Very few units left here to make our final stand. soon as possible. I need every available gun to deploy. I have somewhat been able to organize a defense now. And I'm sure the enemy cavalry must be exhausted. There's more of them coming. The fact that I'm not able to order a withdrawal. The plus that I didn't notice that earlier. Oh, they're under the bloody fire of the howitzers. God damn it. At least I've got a line now. Could soon be overturned by the enemy. Plus the enemy, that must be a 12-pounder or something firing all the way over here, I'd imagine. Right, the Prussian cavalry was stopped for a bit, anyways. We'll blame it on the fact that these troops, of course, are all German troops. I will further pull back the infantry.
Our men are running, sir.
And the howitzers will be ordered to switch to canister. Cavalry attack. I don't have any more rallies. 5 cavalry units. Somehow... Oh, what are you doing? Oh, if you could fire here... Get your shit together. Maybe that gun would have been able to get canister fire off. Now the army is now completely falling apart. Can I get canister to aid a little bit over here? General to close in on the square. This does not turn out well. The Saxon regiment doing a charge here. That actually worked for a little bit. Come on, reload that last thing. Break that bloody cavalry. Save the square. Oh, they did fire. Question is if they did anything. Yes, they did. Oh shit, the square is getting fired upon.
Our men are running, sir.
Troops are now all leaving. I thought the howitzers were going to be able to inflict more damage on my enemy, but that was not the case. They were quite ineffective. When the enemy uses them, they manage to get all these wonderful hits. When I use them, get nothing. I don't often get like proper defeats like this one, but here we've got like a proper defeat with my army. Fortunately, we could possibly lose the general and our whole host of units if this don't turn out well. The final stand of the army, 2 gun crews and the general, as the rest of the army leaves the field.
Sir, and must rest a while.
Yes, I do bet they want to rest. I just need to lose a couple of men for from the general's bodyguard. Actually, I should probably leave these guys so that they will retreat, and that will potentially then get the general to leave as well, as he's got no troops defending him. They did manage to shoot a few, but at this point we'll have to leave. We deploying 3,100 men, where of which I don't think almost any unit were French. The cannons and the cuirassiers were French, and the general. Besides that, they were all German troops. So 3,000 men on our side compared to 30,000 on the enemy side. We ended up losing 2,000 men, while the enemy lost 5. And yes, they remain at 24,000 men, while I have 1,100 after that. Cuirassiers, highest killers at 600, followed by a regiment of the Saxons. In terms of what I lost, it looks like we lost a total of 5 units. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure we lost at least one of those cannon, and one of them was the cuirassier, and then the 3 others was infantry regiment. I can see the Bavarians survived, the Oldenburg units survived. Looks like the Saxon regiments also survived, so it would have been the Anhalten regiments, which makes sense. They were kind of caught out there in the open, destroyed. And then there's one missing. So it's a cannon. It's the 2 Anhalten battalions, the cuirassiers, and the 5th one, which I'm not sure who. Actually, it is one of the Saxons, I think, because there's 2 Saxons here. There was 3 Saxon. So one of the Saxon regiments as well was destroyed. Right, so my plan to relieve the siege did not work at all, but it did take a chunk out of the enemy. Probably shouldn't have built an army entirely, even if I hadn't built an army entirely out of Germans, it probably wouldn't have worked anyways. But yeah, we took a sizable chunk out of the 2 Prussian armies. Should make it easier for the next army moving forward to attack. Let's go ahead and click here. I want to see what I can recruit. I can re-recruit the cuirassier, but I'm more interested in what units of infantry has become available. Right, I could see the Anhalten units there. Like, better I know where the Saxons. Well, they're on the siege, so that's why I can't recruit them. Oh, I probably got a few of these as from liberating areas, right? Here we go. Yeah, the 2 battalions of Anhalt gonna be re-recruited, so that's 2 of them. Then there's 1 of the Saxons through here, and then it's an artillery piece. Given though the situation here, we I mean, we took out 5,000 of them. Killed the general of this army. This army will surely be forced away. This besieging army is soon enough to be shot away as well. Sending in now, after this, sending in a strong French force. Say, Ney's force. Would definitely be able to do quite the number on them, or say the veterans from Spain, Grouchy, could be ordered in. I think if he moves in here, the Austrians will go ahead and intercept him, though. But we did quite a lot in this battle, so I think we'll end it here, and then I think we'll try a few more times to attack this area to see how it goes, and then once I'm able to relieve it, then I will try to continue the attacks sort of off camera, or do some kind of montage of it, because 30,000 men is, I mean, if I'm able to kill 5,000 each time, we'll have to fight them in 5 battles to remove all of this, and even at that we will still have 6 enemy armies left. So yeah, but then again, I only need to gain 2 more territories before I am victorious. I also have this plan that if the Prussians were to move their army here, allowing Napoleon to march through here and use the road, I'm pretty sure he could strike this area, and we would have yet another one of those battles like when Napoleon marched through here and managed to take over this territory. So I could do that, limiting the Prussians a lot, because this area is quite isolated. The nearest area is Stettin or Warsaw, both of which areas are far, far between each other. Plus in winter, not great. We can see the resupply for the Prussians aren't great out here. And this territory is also one of the ones that make quite a lot of money as well for them. This area is very unhappy. Revolution. Wonderful if that were to happen. But yeah. I think we'll leave it at this for this episode. So we had a valiant defeat. Unfortunately for my Germans, my plan did not work out, but it was a daring and reckless plan. I don't know why I wasn't allowed to order my troops into a retreat, and I should have seen. I thought, the thing is, this army, I thought it was going to come in from the left and not behind. But I guess with me standing here, this becomes right behind me, I guess. But you see the river, whatever. We had a defeat, a valiant one, and you know what? I've been going over the same thing over and over for quite a while now. So it's better to end it off and start working on finishing this episode. So with that said, I will be saying like I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.